Report. It is January 2nd, 2025. My apologies. I took an extra moment. I had to correct the data, put 24. So I guess you do that 365 times. You kind of get used to doing it. So had to change that. And I know these have been later and later. My apologies. But again, I do this around family time and all that. And tonight was the night that we took down all of our Christmas stuff. It's kind of one of those things my wife likes to get done pretty much immediately after New Year's. So the Christmas stuff is down. And the New Year's is here. And it is January 2nd, 2025. And there's been quite a lot. This one is called Attacks Aftermath, because there have been numerous things. Now, there's not, a lot here in the form of content where, I'm going to be reading for an hour and a half, but what there is concerning, because there seems to be a growing foreboding, sense of doom, I guess, by Americans over what the heck this year is going to look like, because it started off really, really bad. I mean, it's not been good. And it's not just an American thing. It's all across the globe. So, all I can say is hold on to your butts, because 2025 is here, and it has been a mofo so far. So, well, I'm not going to be real long-winded here, and we're going to go and do the things, get this sucker going, and talk about everything. But I put a longer one over on PrepperNow about Angry Prepper, but just keep him in your thoughts. The best thing you can do is go watch his video. Please watch his video. Not just because it puts a little bit of coin in his pocket, but he makes some excellent points. He lost his son, and I'll let you figure out the rest from there. But just make sure you're taking care of each other. Listen, and, don't be petty. Life's too short to have differences with people that you can't mend and have a conversation with. Go on over there and do whatever you can and reconnect and try to, mend old wounds and mend fences and stuff, okay? Because you never know. There's someone you might care about that you might right now have a little bit of a problem with, but grand scheme of things, something happens and you're not able to say goodbye or hello or I love you or, I care or whatever. It might be too late at some point. So don't do that. All right, folks, we're going to get started here. It's about 3.5 minutes in, going to 4 minutes. Thank you for being here. Please hit that like button, do the subscribe thing, darken out the bell, get the notifications. Join us here on the Crisis Report, the most comprehensive news on YouTube. We rattle through all of the day's happenings, get it from multiple viewpoints. We do not take, I've got my own personal opinions on stuff, but we do not shield you from one side or the other. We let you see it all, because at that point you can make your own decisions. You're a smart human being. So, excuse me. Let's get started. Suspects in Las Vegas, explosion in New Orleans attack, served at the same army base. Okay. South Korean police raided the offices of Jeju Air and the operator of Muan International Airport Thursday as they step up their probe into the fatal crash, the Boeing 737, killing 179 people. Biden is going to award Trump critic Liz Cheney with a Special Service Medal. Yay. Elon Musk called for fresh UK elections in the latest sign of how Donald Trump's incoming U.S. administration could be a thorn in the side of Keir Starmer's government, according to Bloomberg. Finnish authorities plan to inspect the Eagle-S tanker that is suspected of belonging to Russia's shadow fleet, playing a role in the sabotage of the Baltic undersea cable, country's transport agency said on Thursday. Biden administration is moving to ban oil and gas leases for 20 years in Nevada region, just 2 weeks before Trump's inauguration, according to Fox News. Stock markets begin new year with losses. It was not a good day. Not cataclysmic, but not good. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has announced his increased NYPD security at key locations, including Trump Tower, Times Square, as precaution following attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas. They definitely have people freaked out. There's a mass shooting outside of a New York City nightclub, leaving 10 injured last night. NYPD said it was a dangerous scene as about 30 shots were fired before the suspects got away in a gray Infiniti with out-of-state plates. Unsure, but from what I understand, it was more of a idiot's gonna idiot thing. I don't think anyone died, so good. Euro and British pound tumble against the United States dollar. Markets are bracing for Trump's return. Man connected to the rental of the Cybertruck that exploded outside of Trump's hotel in Vegas yesterday is an active duty Special Forces Operations Sergeant who was on leave from Germany, where he was serving with the 10th SFG, according to multiple U.S. officials and CNN. United States Capitol Police officers just responded to the area of Constitution Avenue and 3rd Street Northwest. Suspicious vehicle. Probably just precautionary. Top secret lab in the United Kingdom is developing the country's first quantum clock to help the British military boost intelligence and reconnaissance operations, Defense Ministry said. FBI counterterrorism official on New Orleans attack says, "Let me be very clear about this point. This was an act of terror. It was a premeditated and evil act." FBI now says that New Orleans truck attacker acted alone, calling it an act of terror. No definitive link between New Orleans attack and Las Vegas, according to the FBI. New Orleans death toll has reached 15, according to the FBI. The attacker planted 2 homemade bombs, according to the FBI. Spain's Canary Islands have received a record 46,843 migrants in 2024 alone, according to one of their ministries. United States agencies could declare a state of emergency following the coordinated ISIS attacks in the U.S. leading up to the funeral of Jimmy Carter and President Trump's inauguration. Once again, Ukraine issues a nationwide alert following signs of Russia about to launch its Oreshnik missile. As of now, no launches have yet been detected. United States agencies suspect that ISIS will claim responsibility for the New Orleans attack. U.S. intelligence agencies suspect the attacker in the New Orleans attack was inspired or most likely in contact with ISIS Khorasan branch. If the New Orleans case is confirmed as an ISIS-backed inspired attack, it would be the first lethal assault by someone connected to or acting in the same of the group of the U.S. soil since 2017, when an ISIS supporter drove a truck along a bike path in New York, killing 8 people. Wow, I forgot about that one. Man connected to the rental of the Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas on Wednesday is a U.S. Special Forces soldier assigned to the 10th Special Forces Group. Per 4 U.S. officials, the man is a U.S. Army Special Forces Operations Sergeant, holding the rank of Master Sergeant, a senior enlisted rank, the officials said. 3 officials said he was on active duty and was on leave from Germany, where he was serving with 10th Group at the time of the incident. There's something completely stinky about that whole case. United States President Joe Biden is holding an emergency NSC meeting in developments in New Orleans on how to respond to the attack. New details on the Vegas and New Orleans attacks per the briefing. The New Orleans suspect had 3 cell phones in his car. FBI looking into one currently. Both Vegas NOLA suspects not believed to have served in the same Army unit, but were at Bragg at the same time and also in Afghanistan at the same time. Vegas suspect had accelerant in his vehicle and rented a Cybertruck until January 4th. So, accelerant being camping gas, gasoline. Norwegian police have arrested 2 Chinese nationals suspected of flying a drone within the no-fly zone in downtown Oslo. FBI told the congressional leadership and several House and Senate committee members that perpetrator of the New Orleans attacks joined ISIS just before the summer of 2024. U.S. Army confirms Matthew Allen Livelsberger was a member of the Army Special Operations Command and was on approved leave. Master Sergeant Matthew Allen Livelsberger enlisted as an 18X and served in the active duty Army from January. Master Sergeant Matthew Allen Livelsberger enlisted as an sorry about that. That's a doubler. Well, excuse me. Having all kinds of problems. 2006 to March 11th, Livelsberger then joined the National Guard from March 2011 to July 2012, followed by the Army Reserve from July 12 to December 2012. He entered the active duty Army in December 2012. Was a U.S. Army Special Operations soldier. Additionally, U.S. Army Special Operations Command can confirm Livelsberger was assigned to the command and on approved leave at the time of his death. USASOC is in full cooperation with federal and state law enforcement agencies, but as a matter of policy, will not comment on any ongoing investigations. If terror can easily infiltrate the U.S. Army, just imagine how other government agents are infiltrated by actual countries with hardcore intelligence agencies. NOLA suspect and Vegas suspect served at the same Army base, same time in Afghanistan and in 2 different units, but FBI doesn't know if they interacted. Army is attempting to help figure that out. New Orleans suspect was in the 82nd Airborne Division, and the Vegas suspect was Intense Special Forces Group. More than 90,000 tons of explosives have been dropped by Israel on the Gaza Strip since 10/7/23, equivalent of almost 6 Hiroshima nuclear bombs and exceeding the entire combined bombing campaigns over Dresden, Hamburg, London, and Tokyo in World War II. Wow. Police have not yet determined the motive of the nightclub shooting in Queens, New York City. Israeli Army's radio says that since the beginning of the war, 28 soldiers from the IDF have dispatched themselves, including 16 reservists. At this point, it is looking increasingly like Israel seeks to resume the war on Hezbollah after the 60 days. That is January 26th when that date is up. 24 days and counting, folks. Breaking, IDF has drawn up plans to maintain a permanent presence in Lebanon and Syria. Reportedly, the Israeli leadership wants to build 12 outposts, southern Lebanon, 1 opposite each northern Israeli settlement, and 9 outposts in Syria, 2 of which will be located on the Syrian side of Mount Hermon. Hezbollah-affiliated journalists in the south, if Israel does not withdraw all of its troops from Lebanon within the 60 designated days, then the ceasefire agreement exists no more, and we will... All right, let's take it again. Our country is in chaos, laughingstock of the world, open borders, bad leadership, rising threats, general suck. DOJ, FBI, prosecutors focus on arresting Trump instead of doing what they should be doing. Democrats have failed our nation, and urgent action is needed to restore safety, security, and democracy. See you January 20th. Make America great again. I'm good with all that as long as there's no more freedoms being taken from me when it comes to my security. I think I can handle just fine without any more being taken. New Orleans attacker Shamsuddin Jabbar received a War on Terror medal during the U.S. military service, according to the Wall Street Journal. Syrian Ministry of Education revised its curriculum, replacing the term Ottoman occupation with Ottoman administration in history books. China imposes trade restrictions on 28 U.S. defense firms, including General Dynamics, Boeing Defense, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon Missiles and Defense. Zelensky says that Ukraine will fully support Syria by implementing the Grain from Ukraine program. 31st of December, Ukraine sent over 20 trucks with 500 tons of flour, free distribution to Syrian families. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi: without our missile capabilities, no one would negotiate with us. If they could destroy our nuclear facilities, why have they been negotiating with us for over 2 years? Germany is facing 3 years without economic growth, which has not been experienced since World War II. Germany has been ruled by a left-green liberal government for the past 3 years. Early election is to be held in February. White House just posted a video from 2021 on the official YouTube channel entitled, "This Time to Move Forward is Now." The Time to Move Forward is Now, which shows masked Americans. Joe Biden discussed plans to strike Iran nuclear sites if Tehran speeds toward bomb, according to Axios. Suspect in Vegas Tesla blast shot himself in the head before the explosion. That's impressive. South Korean investigators head to Seoul to attempt to arrest impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol. We're going to end on that one. It's not really going too well. At least a dozen workers injured as a small plane crashed into a furniture manufacturing building in Fullerton, California, according to the U.S. Representative Lou Correa. FBI thwarted a plot against AIPAC in Florida. Forrest Kendall Pemberton arrested in plantation with firearms, including an AR-15, after claiming he was scouting the site due to AIPAC's political influence. Department of Defense access card belonging to Master Sergeant Matthew Allen Livelsberger was recovered from the Tesla Cybertruck that detonated outside the Trump Hotel on the Las Vegas Strip. Tom Homan reports that even after 2 terrorist attacks on New Year's Day, the Biden administration continues to allow thousands of people in to the southern border. 40-year-old man, Brent Sharai, has been arrested for planting an IED on a train in Fayette, Idaho. He faces charges of possession of destructive device after being caught trying to ignite the explosive. Suspects in yesterday's attacks on Bourbon Street in New Orleans and Trump Tower in Las Vegas both served as Fort Bragg, the same military base Ryan Roth visited over 100 times before attempting to take out Donald Trump's life. Quinky dink. Las Vegas Cybertruck bomber Matt Leibelsberger, who was an active duty U.S. Special Forces soldier serving in Germany, was also wearing a Slava Ukraini shirt. Cybertruck terrorist was killed before the explosion. Las Vegas police say the Trump Cybertruck bomber sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the detonation of the truck. Large-scale Israeli airstrikes in Aleppo. According to Syrian media, 2.5 magnitude earthquake on the Richter scale was caused due to the bombing of the factories and research facilities in Aleppo. Family of Cybertruck bomber Matthew Leibelsberger say that he was a big Trump supporter. Uncle of Leibelsberger told The Independent that he is confused by the explosion because his nephew could rig a bomb to blow up half the hotel if he really wanted to damage it. He used to have all patriotic stuff on Facebook. He was 100% loving this country. He loved Trump and was always very, very patriotic soldiers, a patriotic American. It's one of the reasons he was in Special Forces for so many years. It wasn't just one tour of duty. Mao was a very skilled warrior. He would be able to make if it was him, and he did this. He would have been able to make a more sophisticated explosive than using propane tanks and camping fuel. Some of it doesn't make sense. When we had the skills and ability to make something more, let's say, efficient, his skills were enormous from what he had been taught in the military. So that is that's Megatron Ron. He's pro-Eastern in scope. Heavy price of war. Since the beginning of the war, 891 IDF soldiers have been killed and 5,569 were wounded. 2 of them died in training accidents, 1 in a weapons accident, and 17 additional fighters were killed in suicide incidents. British Sun claims Bashar al-Assad survived an assassination attempt in Russia. According to the report in The Sun, which is based on a report, the Russian news website, Bashar al-Assad, ousted president of Syria, who is in exile in Russia under the protection of Putin, was poisoned during an assassination attempt. He received treatment after feeling unwell and choking. Traces of poison were found in his blood. Summary of the New Year's celebrations. 5 dead and 400 arrested in Houthi riots across the country. Another Israeli strike on Hezbollah urges targets in Jabba, southern Lebanon. Secondary explosions can be detected, which means that a weapons storage was destroyed. Israel in a new defense concept in the southern region. 12 outposts will be built on the Lebanese with soil it'll be 12 and then 9 outposts on territory of Syria. Senior Israeli officials tell Channel 14, if Trump doesn't press otherwise, we're here to stay. I don't think he's going to press further. Israel fears a diplomatic ambush by outgoing U.S. administration and the Security Council. No, they'd never do that. As part of a scenario in question, a third country will submit to the Council a resolution proposal that will demand that Israel withdraw from the buffer zone in the Syrian Golan Heights, and from the Herman Summit or end of the war in the Gaza Strip. In the next stage, the administration will deliberately refrain from vetoing such a resolution and then will be stuck with it forever, since even if the Trump administration submits a resolution proposal that cancels it, Russia and China will veto it. Dramatic month ahead. January 9th, Lebanon will elect a new president. 20th, Donald Trump can enter the Oval Office. And the 26th, the 60-day ceasefire agreement in Lebanon will expire. Drama in the Middle East. A large-scale Israeli attack on Hezbollah, Iranian, and former Syrian regime targets in Lebanon and Syria. Non-stop takeoffs and landings of Israeli fighter jets are seen and heard all across the country. Hezbollah and Syria are paralyzed. Important assets are decimated. The IDF attacked the security factories and laboratories of the Syrian Ministry of Defense east of Aleppo. The earth is shaking in Syria from the blasts of the weapons and ammunition that were destroyed. According to a report by Jihadology on Islamic Terror Watchdog, ISIS-affiliated arrests in the USA were up 50% in 2024. 14 members of ISIS were arrested by federal agents. 5 of the arrested were actively planning terrorist activities and attacks with a range of targets, including churches, synagogues, voting locations, and LGBTQ plus pride and such establishments. Russian Foreign Ministry, the responsibility for stopping Russian gas supplies through Ukraine is entirely with the U.S., Kiev regime, and Europe. In the meantime, Ukrainian blogger threatened with destruction of remaining pipelines. Blue circles are the last remaining routes, all within striking distance for the Ukrainian Armed Forces' homegrown missile arsenal. Unrecognized pro-Russian Republic of Transnistria. All industrial enterprises have stopped work in Transnistria due to the lack of energy resources. Minister of Economic Development Sergei Obolenik. Ukrainian missile strike on Russian army base in the Kursk region. Elon Musk calls for British right-wing activist Tommy Robinson to be released. There have been those who strayed. Oh, there we go, no wonder. New Syrian school curriculum for first grade now teaches that don't say that those who have strayed and those who God's wrath upon are the Christians and Jews. Previously, Christians did not have to learn Islam and all religious taught in the Syrian schools. Today, Syrian children, including Christians in first grade, will be forced to attend classes blaspheming Christianity. Notice how all of the data from 2024 is also no longer, or they call it Anno Domini, but you get the point. South Korean police and South Korean special forces were now in a major standoff outside the presidential residence as 2,700 police officers are trying to arrest President Yoon. Conservative pastors and right-wing influencers in South Korea, across the whole South Korean peninsula, is impeachment attempts of trying to hand South Korea to Communist China and North Korea, calling on its followers for action to stop the attempt to remove Yoon from office. Yonhap reports that the unit blocking the Seoul police from arresting President Yoon are the 55th Homeland Defense Infantry Division. The units tasked with Donald of Seoul metropolitan area in case of war. Suspect that has been arrested after a bomb threat shut down Interstate 85 and nearby roads for hours on Thursday. Traffic is now being let through, and Interstate 85 and White Horse Road around after the driver of an 18-wheeler was arrested Thursday night, according to enforcement. Person's identity has not been released. On Sunday, a pro-ISIS outlet turned to Telegram and called on Muslims, bringing the U.S., Europe, Russia to conduct attacks on New Year's Eve. On monotheists in Europe, America, Russia, and other lands of the Crusaders, we know that you are eager to join the brothers in the land of jihad, but the paths have been cut off for you. Now security has been prolonged and your brothers are being killed. Elon Musk warns that Joe Biden and Harris will open the border before he leaves in November. That, my friends, is your crisis report. Keep Jason in your prayers. And don't stop, okay? Do not stop. Trust me. Stack, stick to the plan. Keep your head in the swivel and your powder dry. Check out the links in the description. And darken out that bell and give it a like if you're so inclined. All right, friends. God bless you all. I'm tired, and we will see you on the next one.